Hey, what's up guys? It is Rob from Movie Review Time, and I am back with a brand new list video for you guys. Going to be a top 10 video, and it's on a very unique topic. I went through my collection, I was looking at all my horror movies, and I'm like, you know what? It would be kind of an interesting video to list my top 10 favorite, most iconic horror movie weapons. You know, some of my favorite horror movie killers, have such unique weapons and abilities, and I thought, you know, it'd be kind of cool to list them in a top 10. So that's what I did here, and there is one particular movie that we will get to that I still consider to be a kind of like a horror action film, because it's definitely a slasher, and that's for certain. But we'll get to that when I go through this. But I do have some honorable mentions that did not make my list, and that's what we're going to talk about first. Okay, so coming up first for my honorable mentions is Cherry the Gun Leg from Planet Terror. Rose McGowan plays the character Cherry, who has no leg and it's replaced with a machine gun. And she walks around with it, and she, like, you know, bends over a little bit and she shoots it without even pulling the trigger. It's like her leg is automatically pulling the trigger to the gun. But it's still cool because she can walk on it, and then she, like, sticks her leg up and she starts shooting, like, all these mutant zombies. This is very cool. It's very unique, you know, having a gun for a leg. I just thought that was pretty cool. So that's definitely a unique, you know, horror weapon, so to say. A weapon used in a horror movie. Alright, coming up next is the flamethrower used by RJ, played by Kurt Russell in John Carpenter's The Thing. The flamethrower is a cool weapon to begin with. I've always wanted to shoot a flamethrower. But in that movie, it comes in handy for the scene that, you know, they're all trying to, you know, figure out who's an alien and who's not. But, you know, when Kurt Russell gets a hold of that flamethrower, man, he's awesome. But that's a really cool weapon, the flamethrower. And, of course, we're going to talk about the all-popular butcher knife, you know, Michael Myers uses. And the butcher knife, to be honest, I don't really want to call it a unique weapon, because the butcher knife has been used before. I mean, it was used in Psycho before it was even used in Halloween. But there's just something, you know, this is kind of like a common weapon. You know, any kind of knife. A knife is a common weapon used in a slasher film, or any kind of horror film. Usually it's a knife or a butcher knife or something. A machete, any kind of sharp blade. So that's why this didn't make my list, because I wanted to have more unique weapons on the list. But it's still an honorable mention. It still deserves to be mentioned. So it's iconic, you know. Anyway. That would hurt, getting stabbed by that. Alright, so then we have, of course, the all-popular machete used by Jason Voorhees, his signature weapon, so to say. And the machete, you know, just a, you know, bigger version of a knife, or, you know, close to a sword. It does a lot of damage. In the hands of Jason, it does permanent damage. But I love the machete. The machete is, you know, it's cool. And, yeah, what better weapon to have, you know, Jason handle. The last honorable mention, of course, is the chainsaw used by Leatherface. The reason it didn't make my list is because I have something else that involves a chainsaw that I didn't feel like this needed to be put on the list, because I felt like the other one is more unique. But, you know, I just had to mention the chainsaw. Alright, so those are my honorable mentions. Now we're going to get into my top 10, starting with number 10. Number 10, iconic horror movie weapon is the pickaxe, used by Harry Warden. I love the pickaxe. How it has like two ends to it, and you can, whatever side you want to use, you can use, and just swing it back and forth. Actually, but Harry Warden, like he ends up throwing it a lot, and it's like woof woof woof. It's like, but yeah, I don't know. It's very unique. Not very many people, as far as horror movie villains, really use a pickaxe. So Harry Warden is very, he's noted for using that weapon. So that's very, very cool. So that comes in at number 10 for me, is the pickaxe. Number 9 is the fire axe, used by Jack Torrance, played by, oh man, what the hell? Sorry, something in my throat. God. Ugh. Okay, it was used by Jack Torrance, played by Jack Nicholson in The Shining, and I like it a lot more than the croquet mallet used in the TV series. And the croquet mallet, I mean, I guess had its place, but it just wasn't as deadly as the pickaxe. I mean, he kills, Mr. Halloran, the cook, and it's just, that scene is crazy. And then, of course, the scene where he's chopping down the door with the axe. I love it. So it's very iconic in that way. All right, coming in at number 8. Now, this is the movie I was talking about. I consider this to be a slasher, horror film, action film. And, Scream Factory did put it out. And, yeah, I just consider it that because there are tons of slasher moments. I mean, the villain, the killer in this movie is called the Night Slasher. Okay? Cobra. And I'm talking about, I actually have it. I'm talking about the Night Slasher knife, or the Cobra knife. This thing is freaking awesome. This isn't like any knife I've ever seen. Okay, this is not your typical blade knife or butcher knife or anything like that. This is different. I just love the design to this. You got the knucks right here, the spiked knucks that can do some damage. And then you got this curved blade that's really, really sharp on both ends. It's sharp here and sharp there. This is awesome. She's mine. Oh, man. How could you possibly have hit me? Have you been drinking? Yes. Oh my God. I like when he's like, pretty hair. Anyway, yeah, the Night Slasher knife is really, really awesome, and I had to put it on the list. This deserves to be put on the list right here. This is just really, really cool. So that comes in at number 8 for me. Number 7, of course, is the chain hooks. From Hellraiser movies, Pinhead and the Cenobites, these chains come out with hooks on them, and they hook on to the victim and just basically stretch them out and tears their skin until it pulls them apart. They basically like explode. That is a really cool weapon. I freaking love the chain hooks. So cool. There are other stuff too, but the chain hooks are really cool. So. That's number 7. Number 6 is, of course, the wrist blades in Predator. The Predator has the wrist blades where it's like Wolverine claws, but they're longer, and there's only 2 of them that come out and they retract. But they're freaking huge. It's like he's carrying, like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. Baraka has that one blade that comes out, but Predator has 2 of them, and they're really long. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But man, those things do some damage too. I just think it's really cool when you see him just be like, shing, and then he's just like that. But the Predator has some really cool weapons, but I think that's my favorite. So the wrist blades from Predator comes in at number 6. Number 5, and this is what I was getting to with the chainsaw. The chainsaw and boomstick. This is my boomstick from, the Evil Dead films or Army of Darkness. He basically, Ash has a chainsaw for a hand on one arm, and then his shotgun or the boomstick on, in his other hand that he has. So pretty cool combination of weapons, and these movies are just fantastic. So I thought that was very unique. That's the reason why I added that onto this list instead of Leatherface's chainsaw, because at least Ash, it's kind of in the same, I want to say it's kind of in the same boat as Rose McGowan from Planet Terror has a leg, or a machine gun for a leg. Ash has a chainsaw for a hand. So it kind of runs into that same kind of uniqueness, so the same kind of category there. So I had to add it to the list. So that's number 5. Number 4 is the hook hand from Candyman. And Candyman, of course, lost his hand, so he's got a hook there. And I just think that's a really cool weapon to have, is the hook. Now, the fisherman, Ben Willis from the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, had a hook as well. The first movie, he held on to the hook, then he got his hand chopped off, then he basically had a hook for a hand, just like Candyman. But I think Candyman's, the universe there, I just think it's a lot better used in those films, in the Candyman universe. So, nothing against Ben Willis. I just think, it's scarier in Candyman, and I just love the way it's like Candyman always comes up behind you, and he stabs you with the hook. Like, he's always behind you. He appears behind you, he's like this. But, I had to mention the hook hand. How can you not mention that? All right, so number 3. Okay, number 3 is the shears from The Burning, used by Cropsey. And the shears are freaking cool, man. This is, that whole, scene on the rafts is bloody and crazy and gory, and I just love how he just goes at it. And of course the shears were used in Friday the 13th Part 5 on that one girl, laying down all naked, and then Roy's just like this, and in her eyes, and then you see the camera, it just cuts away like this. But the shears, I don't know, these just seem dangerous. It's like, you could take a finger off, or a toe, or something, But yeah, The Burning, awesome. Cropsey, an awesome character, using his signature weapon there, the shears. So that's number 3. Number 2, the tall man from Phantasm and his Sentinel Spears. Hell yes. The Sentinel Spears, these things are so unique and so cool. These floating balls that just, he's just like this, and it just goes. And, these little spikes right here just connect right like this. And then something comes out like a drill and starts drilling your head, and all the blood comes out the other end. These things are just, they're like magic balls, but I don't know, it's just kind of a weird idea, but made to be cool. I love these things so much. And there are, some of the balls actually do different things, but I just love the way they're just floating around the mausoleum. But yeah, that's number 2 for me, is the Sentinel Spheres used by the tall man in Phantasm. Now we're getting on to number 1. Number 1 is kind of like a duh moment, okay? When it comes to unique horror movie weapons, in my opinion, this is the most unique because it was created by the killer himself, okay? It wasn't like he just went to the hardware store and just picked out, like a weapon, or like an axe, or like a shovel, or something like that. He made these. And, I love that. Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street and the Freddy Glove. The Freddy Glove is so iconic and so unique. There's nothing like it. A guy takes a glove, he welds on knives for the fingers. He welds them on. And then puts pins in here, and it's basically a claw with knives. Each one of them sharp. He can cut anything. But I mean, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea. The Freddy glove is probably the most iconic weapon ever used in any kind of horror film. I mean, when you see this, you automatically know it's the Freddy glove. So, I mean, one of the most notable weapons in horror movie history is the Freddy glove, besides besides the kitchen knife, or the machete, or the chainsaw. You got the Freddy glove. So, this, my friends, is my favorite, #1 iconic horror movie weapon right here, the Freddy glove. So, this was kind of, man, this was kind of hard to put together because I basically had to go through a lot of horror films and try to, pick out which characters had some abilities or signature weapons and, try to come up with a top 10 and rank them in that way. It was just so hard. There are a lot of great horror movie killers and weapons that I probably didn't even mention, but I feel like the ones that I did mention are some of the greats, and yeah, I just wanted you guys to see my list and my opinions on them. So what do you think of my list of the top 10 iconic horror movie weapons? If you want to do a response to this video, please do. I would love to hear your top 10 favorite horror movie weapons. Either let me know in the comments or do a video response. That'd be awesome. I'd love to hear your thoughts and hear about your list. So, thanks for watching this. Subscribe for more content. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And I'll be back with more videos for you. Alright guys, this is Rob signing off. See you in the next one.